Welcome everybody to the first Just Talking Ball podcast. I'm really excited to be doing this. I've been wanting to do it for a minute now and finally getting to it here. I'm really excited to talk about obviously the Broncos and then we'll be talking about the Cubs too, my two favorite teams in sports really. So gonna be lots of talk about them uh, and baseball and football in general. We'll probably branch out to just league wide stuff every once in a while. Basketball isn't really my favorite sport right now, so I don't know how much I'll be talking about Cavs and basketball and all that. So I don't really know what's going to be happening there. But today, obviously, we got my Broncos 53-man roster prediction. Um, I really appreciate everybody for watching, and I really can't wait to get this started and keep it going, hopefully, and hopefully get future uh, podcasting, and hopefully I can keep building. All right, so let's get started. All right, obviously QB, we got Bo Nix, QB1, future MVP, future Super Bowl MVP. He's an obvious lock. Jarrett Stidham, QB2. He's looked really good during preseason. There's no reason for him not to be QB2. I only see us keeping two QBs. Ellinger will work on the practice squad if he makes it there. If not, that's fine. We can pick up somebody else. Running back, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, they're both locks. Really excited to see R.J. this year. Really think he can be a good back for us. I was skeptical on the pick at first, but after watching film, he's going to be a really good back for us. He looked good during preseason. J.K. obviously really good vet back. He'll pass block, and that's what Sean really likes. So he'll definitely be our third down back. I don't see any doubt about that. He'll fit in really good here. And then two guys who were kind of there was lots of speculation about them not making it in Jaleel and Bidet, but in my opinion, it was always going to be Jaleel. And then it was between Bidet and Estime for me, and after preseason, Bidet really handled the business. Estime just kind of was meh. Bidet, he kind of has an extra little help that he looked really good in the return game too, so I think him and Marvin will be handing up the return game. I think that can work out really good for us. And then obviously Jaleel, he's a really good gadget weapon. He's not an every down back, and there's no problem with that. He's a really good back in certain situations, and now we can get him back to doing that instead of being an every down back, and that's what we did last year, obviously. And it just he's not an every down back. That's what it is. Fullback, Adam Pretense. There's not really much to say here. I think he's going to be cut by the time Burton gets back, because he's going to be starting on the IL. So by the time Burton gets back, Adam, I think, will be gone. I think Adam will do just fine until then. There's nothing really to say much about for that. Wide receiver. All right. So obviously Sutton, Mims, Franklin, Bryant, Sherfield. I was so close to putting Bandy on here, but in the end, I just really couldn't find any room for him. And I thought for sure we'd be keeping 6 receivers this year with Vele, but the Saints just gave us the absolute present there with a 4th at 7th for Vele, which I love Vele, but man, they overpaid. So I really just see us rocking with 5 receivers here. I didn't see any receivers during preseason that really made the cut and looked good enough to overcome just keep another depth piece somewhere else that we know is going to be solid on the NFL squad. So I just see us keeping 5 receivers again this year. Kind of disappointed, but well, I think this 5 will do just fine. I really like Sherfield, especially for special teams. He's going to look nice there. I think Pat's going to have a big year. Troy, I think all the receivers are going to have a really good year. I really see us kind of breaking out this year in the receiving game, especially with Evan Ingram, who we'll get to. I really like what I see from the receiving core. Tight end. So Evan Ingram, obviously. Troutman, obviously. Kroll was. I see lots of people thinking Kroll's not going to make it, and I don't see that whatsoever. He looked solid last year as tight end 1, but that's not who he is. He's a tight end 3, and I think he'll thrive as a tight end 3. And then we got Nate Atkins, obviously. Sean really likes him. He's a really good blocker. He can receive. He can just kind of do it all. He's a really solid player to have. He's going to start hurt for a little bit, but Sean says he's not going on the IL, so he's here. Tackles. Obviously, Bowles, McGlinchey. Pert, I feel like, was kind of obvious. Sean really likes him. Alex, he looked really good last year. When he played for McGlinchey, I really like what Alex can do. I think he's a, a really good backup to have. Personally, I think he could replace Bowles or McGlinchey. If one of them, hopefully not, but if one of them gets hurt, I think he'll be a perfectly fine replacement. Guards, Miners, obviously, the GOAT, Ben Powers, Calvin Throckmorton, and then Will Sherman. So Will was kind of just a depth piece to add at the end. It was between him and another receiver, and I feel like the depth at guard is kind of more valuable right now. So especially with our tight ends being, especially with Evan Ingram now being a really good receiver, I think having depth at guard is probably best right now. So Sherman really just a depth piece there. Throckmorton, he looked pretty solid during preseason. He's a perfectly fine backup. Powers, Miners, they got locked down. We got the best. We got one of the best O lines in the league at the end of the day. So there's nothing to debate about the starters, obviously. And then centers, Luke Wamberg, Forsythe. Now, I know I just said no debating the starters really, but I do think Forsythe will eventually be the starter. I don't see Wattenberg keeping it for this whole year. Wattenberg's fine. I think Forsythe can be even better though. I think his run game blocking is a lot better. Uh, Wattenberg just kind of struggles in that department. I really do think Forsythe can slide in there at some point during the season and really help bolster our O-line even more so. I know people don't like Forsythe, but he's not a special teamer. That play, obviously, I'm not even going to mention the game or anything like that, but I'll just leave it there. All right, so the defensive end, Zach Allen, obviously JFM, obviously Jordan Jackson. He was just a great pickup last year. Really liked what I saw there. Sean just, he cooks with picks like this. Sean and George, they cook on making under the radar moves of guys who really end up stepping up during the regular season when they need to, and Jordan Jackson did that last year. Savion Jones, I think he's going to be a good player in the future. This year, I think just really a depth piece, but I think he'll develop good, especially under Zach and JFM. I really do think he has a future with this team. And for that, I don't see us putting him on the practice squad or trying to for that fact because I don't think he would pass through waivers and everything. So I got Savion here, going to be a depth piece. Maybe he'll run some special teams here and there. I don't really know for sure, though. Who knows? DT, I mean, tackle here, it's just Jones or Roach, really. There's not really. You could have made a case for Ruzarike, I guess, but he just really didn't look that good during preseason. I think we have some better defensive linemen that deserve the spot more. So I think I see us just carrying two defensive tackles here. Jones, obviously, he's really good. I really like Malcolm Roach, too. This is the spot that I kind of hoped we'd upgrade during the offseason, but we upgrading at linebacker really helps here, too. So I'm excited to see what our defense can really do this year. Really hoping to build off of last year and be even better than we were last year. Outside linebacker, Nick Bonito, obviously. It's probably about time we extend him. Jonathan Cooper, Jonah Ellis. He's an amazing depth piece. He's starting on pretty much every other team in the league right now, but our defense is just so incredibly stacked. Dondre Tillman, I really like Dondre. He was another just great pickup by Sean and George. They just cooked once again with Dondre and Jordan. I really like both of them. Dondre especially, super good depth piece to have. And then Q Robinson, I really just have him here as a depth piece. Kind of like Savion. They're going to be good in the future. I don't really see them doing much this year, but when they get reps, I think they will be pretty good this year too. Dre Greenlaw for inside linebacker, obviously. Alex Singleton, Sternad, and then Bailey. Sanders, starting on the aisle again. It's just been a rough go for Sanders. I really liked him, but I'm not seeing a future with this team really with all the injuries. Bailey, he's looked good the past 2 training camps, looked good last preseason, and now obviously this preseason. I think he finally sticks on the roster this year. He'll be a super good depth piece. I think he'll probably work fine in special teams if we decide to run him out there. But I probably see him getting more run as an actual linebacker compared to Sternad, who Sternad really just thrives in special teams. He's really good there. That's kind of why he was on the roster to begin with last year. Singleton and Greenlaw, I think they'll lock it down just fine at linebacker. Singleton, kind of a question mark, but I do think he can be just fine as a linebacker too, because he was kind of running the one for the past couple of years. Cornerback, Patrick Surtain, DPOY, obviously. There's no doubt about that. Jaquan McMillan. Oh, my bad. Riley Moss, cornerback 2. I don't know how long that's going to last. Jaquan McMillan, perfect slot corner. Really like him there. Jahdae Barron, I think he's going to be a stud. He's just got to work on that pass coverage just a little bit more. His tackling is already elite. He brings great depth to this cornerback room, and I do think that he can take Riley's spot at some point this year. I don't know if that'll happen. Depends on what Riley we're getting. If we're in pre-injury Riley, then probably not. But if we're in post-injury Riley, like Bengals game and all that, then he's going to be replaced really quick. Cad, I really like Cad too. He could definitely replace Riley if Riley struggles again. I really like our depth here in the cornerback room. I think we got, just per usual, we just got a great team here. All right, for the safeties, we got Taluna, Ufunga. Loved this pickup. This pickup was really good. Him and Greenlaw were just perfect pickups. I just can't really express like how good they were. They were just insanely good. We got them for pretty good value, and I really think they can bolster this defense even more. I think they were kind of what we're missing. Again, I kind of wanted to see D-line get picked up, but I think Ufunga and Greenlaw can lock down the run game and help that out. Brandon Jones, obviously, he was a really good pickup last year. PJ Locke, he struggled last year, yes. I do like him as a backup, though. He's done good there the past couple of years when he was a backup. So I think he keeps his roster spot because of that. Guys like Key, I just don't see making it really. JL Skinner, I think he's primed for a breakout year. I could really see him getting good reps this year. I'm really hoping we see him get actual defensive reps because I think he can be something on defense. Obviously, he's a great special teamer. He hits hard, and I like that. I really want to see him on defense a little more. I'm really hoping we can get him there. That would be huge. Special teams, obviously, this is kind of just obvious, but we got to put it in here. Will Lutz, Jeremy Crawshaw, Mitchell Framboni. It's just, it was obvious coming in. Obviously, we didn't keep any more than 2 kickers or 2 punters. Or even, no, we did bring another long snapper, but he got cut already, I'm pretty sure. And Will, I'm a little skeptical on. He has his ups and downs, but overall, I think he'll be fine. Crawshaw, I'm a little hesitant. He looked during preseason, but I believe in Sean. I believe in Rizzy now that we got him. I really like him as our special teams coordinator. I really think he can do something with us. Fraboni, I mean, fine long snapper. I don't have a slide for this, but practice squad guys, I mean, I really do think guys like Bandy, Perry, Rowan, Courtney Jackson, I think they should all be able to make the practice squad. There's not really much of a doubt in my mind that they will make it, honestly. Maybe Courtney gets picked up. I don't really know. Depends on what other teams need, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, that's Just Talking Ball's 53-man roster prediction for the Denver Broncos this year. Again, I'm really excited to start posting on here. I've been looking forward to it for a while now. I can't wait to get all this started, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you for watching. Please like and subscribe, share this. Just do whatever you think is deserved. I don't know how good this is going to be. It's kind of rudimentary, but it's just the beginning. So we're going to keep working off this, building off this. So I'm really looking forward to this, and thank you guys so much for watching. and I will see y'all in the next one.